Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of the Rieg AD Wedding Show. We are very privileged to be back at the Rose Barn, and it's again a windy day. Can you believe it? So if you hear something in the background, the wind is howling, and we are very privileged to have this awesome food in front of us. And we've got Andreas from branching Out Caterers, and he's going to tell us all about his business, all what they can do, and then we're going to have an opportunity to share in this awesome food. So, Andreas, welcome. Thanks for making the time.
Awesome to have you guys, and lovely to cook for you not for a change. We see you quite often at the wedding, so you have eaten here before.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's good to.
So
good
thanks
to
a
be
lot. So I think let's, like South Afrikaans sê, kom ons val met die deur in die huis. So tell us a little bit about your history in food. How did this all come to be?
I've been in food most of my life. Parents being in the food business, my dad restaurateur.
Okay.
I ended up being in the restaurant business myself. Had a couple of restaurants, and about 2 years ago sold the last one.
Okay.
And decided to slow down and get into the catering industry.
Is it really slowing down, moving into catering?
It's not really slowing down. It's not. But it is a little bit easier late night. No, not so many late nights, that kind of stuff. So no, it's been great here at Rose Barn. It's a lovely atmosphere to work in, and obviously a beautiful team. It's good to be with a good team.
Well, I think tell us in terms of food choices. What do you offer? I mean, we've got some awesome food here in front of us, but I mean, maybe talk us through this and tell us what you can offer a couple if they're planning an event or a wedding.
Well, this is just a simple starter platter that we normally do.
Part of our
harvest.
I also won't say simple.
Part of our harvest table, just some tasters. Look, my food style is very home style and Mediterranean. Obviously, Tanya, my wife being Afrikaans, and me being actually, I'm Greek but South African at heart. So we do a bit of everything, but I'd like to stick to the Mediterranean theme a lot. So I try to push the customers in that way, because that's what I do. What we offer our customers is a full-on service, from menu planning to designing their special menu for the day. We can do breakfast for them in the morning, before snacks during the day, dinner that night.
Okay, so everything.
Basically whatever they need. If they want breakfast the next morning as well, if they're staying on site, if they're staying somewhere else, we can do that. We can do that too. They do like to do some family dinners the night before as well sometimes, which we can do anything from a braai to a full-on 3-course plated meal.
Okay.
We can do just about anything that the customers.
And menu options, obviously, there's no real limitation. There's no set menus. It's whatever the client.
Yeah, whatever the
within
client.
reason.
Yeah, whatever the client wants. Obviously, there is price implications to importing beluga caviar from Russia, but we can do it. There's nothing holding us back. So just about anything.
Your budget is the limit.
Yeah, it's like many things. I mean, often the budget is literally the limit. It's just nice, I think, for some people to know that that there's no restriction in terms of it's set menus and you need to use that.
But saying that, we also work on smaller budgets. We can also make the tables look lovely, and the food is still going to be great and amazing. Being from my background, home cook.
So you don't need, if you can spend.
We're good at working with the little that we have. So you can go totally extravagant, or we can go really homely.
So the important thing is that they contact him, and that he sit with the client.
But I think that's another good question.
And the budget. Yeah.
When should a couple get in contact with their caterer? I think a lot of couples starting this journey of planning a wedding doesn't necessarily know. I think that's one thing that we realize. They book the venue, and then in your case, you probably will guide them a little bit towards the catering side.
Especially because it's more a one-stop
solution.
venue shop that they offer.
But still, what is the sort of ideal timeline for a couple to start planning their menu?
We're privileged here at Rose Barn that we're being on the same team. So everyone will approach Tanya first when they come to book the venue. And she'll directly put them onto me and say, guys, chat with Andreas, let's have a meeting. We normally sit together in the first meeting with them, and we'll discuss their whole wedding plan, from before their wedding to after their wedding, their honeymoon, whatever. And we'll discuss with them their likes, their don't likes, what their family is like, their culture, what specific foods would they like to have at their wedding.
Restrictions and things like that.
Do they have favorite foods?
Yes.
Is there dietary restrictions? That kind of stuff. What nostalgic foods come from their childhood, from their memories, which we'd like to play with the experience of the wedding. So it doesn't help you grew up eating meat and potatoes, and then you want caviar and Parma ham at your wedding.
Totally agree.
It falls flat with the audience. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So choose your food according to the audience, according to your guests. So that's always brings the experience up a level.
I think that's something that we've picked up on one or two weddings.
So
you know, and again, I'll say it with respect, where I think the couple try to make the food almost too fancy, and you get a lot of people almost not knowing what they're eating.
Almost detached.
Yes, from the food.
Yeah, and food must. I'm also I love eating. I eat when I'm emotional. I eat when I'm happy. I celebrate life with food. And I really think that it must connect everything. Yeah. It is not just a time to eat. It is part of the entire experience.
Yes.
And if you can bring back that memories,
exactly
I mean, how freaking amazing is that? That you can bring back, even if it's a fancy thing in a bolognese or a traditional thing that you zoop up on your way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
And can bring back that taste sensation and the memories.
Takes you back to the
grandma's kitchen or...
And interesting, a while ago with one of the other vendors, we had a discussion about food, and they said that although the bride and groom or the couple, you know, the food choices are important to them, on the day they often don't get around to eating, or they you know, take a bite or two, three. But the guests, that's almost, I don't want to say that's why they're at the wedding, but it's a big part of why they're there, you know.
So look forward to eating at a wedding.
So if you can make the guests happy, you know, everyone walks away thinking it was an awesome wedding. And I think it's probably I don't know, you might disagree with me, but it's probably the one thing at a wedding that's the most memorable.
Yeah. It is definitely. I mean, it's only the couple that's getting married. For them, it's special in that way.
Obviously.
But for all the other guests, they will always talk about the food.
They're for the food and the party. That's it.
Food and the party. Yeah, so if you have good food and good music and they can dance, and obviously a bar facility, you know, unfortunately goes with it. So
no, as long as the people are kept fed the whole day and they're enjoying themselves, they don't have a bad experience at all.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
We've now been talking weddings, but I mean, you obviously provide your services as well to other functions.
Yeah, we do outside functions. So birthday parties, private dinners, that kind of stuff too.
Okay. So any need that
did you mention his company's name?
Branching out.
Yes.
When we started, I said from branching, Andreas from branching out.
But it's not only just for the catering year.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is any.
But like you say, you can do a private party at a house or something like that, which I think.
Yeah, private
in
catering.
The current situations.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of people are doing that. Or even if they're doing now in this stage, doing bigger weddings later on, but now they're still doing a little small ceremony, which they'd like to do at home.
Yes.
So then they contact Andreas and he still does the catering on that side. Or if they have a baby shower or bachelorette, for him to do platters for that.
I mean, people are still celebrating their birthdays. Babies are still getting born.
Engagement.
All the occasions are still happening. We're just not allowed to celebrate it in a public space with everyone.
Exactly.
So the catering service will still be needed.
Yes.
So they must make sure to contact them.
We'll definitely put all the details in there. Andreas, I think just out of interest, often you get a family member that offers to do the food or do the catering. And I think I'd like to hear your advice on it. It's often how we get told that Uncle Bob, we always tease about Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob's got a camera and he'll photograph a wedding. But I know Uncle Bob is maybe a good wildlife photographer, but he doesn't really understand wedding photography. He doesn't have experience.
Yeah.
So I think probably in a similar way, you know, the same goes for catering for a huge amount of people.
We definitely have the same issue in the catering industry as you have. There's a lot of brides and grooms that will say their auntie would like to make this and their auntie would like to make that. My family is the same. I've got aunties that are really good chefs, grandmothers that are very controlling and would like to make all the food. But in the same situation in our wedding, we said to them, listen, you're coming to enjoy yourself at our wedding. You're not coming to work at our wedding. So we entrusted a caterer who we really trust with food, and we know her style and we know her service. And we trusted her, and she provided. And that's what I say to brides and to other customers, saying trust your suppliers to give you the best experience that you can have. Rather, tell them everything that you want, have a budget in place that you need to do, and work around that, but trust them to give you the best service that they can. And use a reputable and trusted person.
A professional.
Yes, it's just going to make your whole experience so much better. Your family is not going to stress about this dodgy supplier or auntie who's getting too old now and can't really cope with it. Everyone's just going to stress too much, which adds to a bad experience to start with at the wedding. You want your wedding to be good experience after good experience after good experience. So keep that in mind. Where you want to save money on certain things, you're not going to save the experience. Might save a little bit here, but in the end it's going to bite you because not everyone is going to have a good time. So rather, I don't want to say pay the little bit extra, because you can get away with less if you just communicate to your suppliers.
Be honest from the start off. Say, this is my budget.
Yes.
This is what I have to work with, and then you're guaranteed it's going to look good from start to finish, and there'll be food from start to finish.
And also
you're not going to run out.
And also tell them what's important to you. What is the most important thing that you want to do? And do you want the food to be amazing? Do you want it to be a focal point, or is it a background thing, or you're not so into food?
Okay.
Then we can work around that. We can still make the experience wonderful the whole day and the next day, and everyone will remember it. Or you can have a stressed out family. You'll be stressed out because you're worried your family is going to be not provide, and it just creates a snowball effect, and no one has a good time at the wedding. So trust your suppliers, trust the people working for you, and you will have a great time. That's the main thing.
And use the professionals.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with all our programs,
that's one of the big messages that come across, is use the professionals.
In everything. I mean, even with yourself, with a venue, we had weddings where there was a bedouin tent on a farm, home catering, and obviously the beauty is the two people also got married and they are happily ever after. But there were many things that could have been much better had they used professional suppliers. There's a reason why people specialize in stuff.
And again, it's experience. I think that's what we also picked up. Nothing beats experience. I mean, we often say anyone can buy a camera and start photographing, but it's the experience you gain over.
I just thought you were going to say anyone can make this, because I cannot.
But what I'm trying to get at is, with experience you learn things like a simple thing like the family photo shoot. That's always a thing at a wedding. People don't realize how much time it takes, and the same with food. I think people who are not experienced caterers doesn't realize that if you're plating a meal, for instance, it takes a lot of time unless you are properly prepared for it. And we've been at weddings where it's gone over an hour from the first to the last person to get their food. So the whole night just starts being stretched out. So I'm glad you touched on that first part as well about the family enjoying themselves. That's the other thing. You're there to enjoy the wedding. Don't go work at someone's wedding. Go there to enjoy it.
And also the other thing is that something will always go wrong.
Yeah.
There will always be a steak that's slightly overdone. There will always be a piece of cake that is a little bit too dry. So if you're having family do that, no one can fix it. Yeah. We've been doing this for years. We know how to work on the fly. I can make a new steak because I've got another steak ready in the fridge. Yes. Whereas Tanya, is not going to have a spare steak. She's got enough steak. You know what I mean? Yeah. We are geared to deal with problems here. So you might not even see the problem. It'll just go through smoothly in the wedding. I've sorted it out, and no one's panicked. Whereas if the family does it, or if unreliable suppliers do it, it might snowball and it becomes your problem.
I agree.
Trust the right people, and you will get a great experience.
And I think lastly from our side, is there any advice that you can offer to a couple planning a wedding?
Like we discussed before. Now keep it nostalgic. Keep it to things that you like and that your family and friends will like. Don't try and overcompensate for something. Don't go fancier than what you need to go. The first question I normally ask in the meetings is, what do you like to eat? What is your favorite dish? To the bride and the groom. And so how do we play that into your wedding? You want a Mediterranean theme? Yes, we can do that. Do you want Mexican theme, we can do that. We have little stations, we can do burgers, we can do Italian, we can do whatever you want, as long as you decide on something that's nostalgic to you and something that brings back memories and puts a smile on your face. That's the biggest thing.
I love that.
I think if I remember our wedding, I mean, the only thing Adi wanted was seafood. And afterwards the venue owner said she's never seen a bride eat so much. She wanted seafood and she got her seafood.
3 plates of food. And for me that was the ultimate, obviously getting married to you as well. But for me
she's just saying that because it's recorded afterwards.
It was perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better, and the lady of the venue also specifically asked me what food makes me happy. And we had that, and I can honestly say that for me made the wedding.
And I think what you're saying there is so important, because obviously, you know, we tease now about the guests and everything, but still it needs to make you as a couple happy. And I think if you choose your food correctly, you are probably going to sit down and actually enjoy it on the evening. You know, where if it's just something that you chose to choose, then it's different. But if you chose because you really love eating that food, you are going to make the time to
and
on your wedding.
At the end of the day, we hear lots of the guests saying, "Oh, this is so whatever." And so them. They always love eating this.
And then you know they kind of hit the nail.
That's just more intimate.
It's authenticity.
It's amazing.
So I think people the number one thing for today is that people mustn't be afraid to be themselves.
Yes.
So do what makes you happy. Don't try and please your family and friends now, or your parents or someone.
Just because this food or this trend is in, if you speak to a person like Andreas who specializes in catering, you can tell him what you love and he will make it work and make it look beautiful. I mean, it's like you say this simple starter presentation. For me, I cannot.
Far from simple,
can we stop the interview now?
Yeah, I really think we need to start going at the end, because we'll need to enjoy this.
The grapes are getting cold.
So Andreas, from you guys, if there's anything else that you want to add, I mean, thank you very much for having us here today, and I mean, for preparing this. It's absolutely amazing.
We appreciate it so much.
We can't wait to dig in, and we're going to cheers now, but I think just to our viewers, thank you very much for watching. It's weekend, so we'll only be back on Monday. Please remember to subscribe. We'll put all Andreas and Branching Out's details, and we'll put the Rose Bond details, everything in the description below. And remember, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away that Rieg AD family lifestyle couple shoot to the value of 3,000 Rand. All you have to do is subscribe. And now we are going to cheers on
this is
an awesome day. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
To success.
And to an awesome weekend.
And no more COVID-19.
No more lockdown.
No more lockdown.
Lockdown must fall.
Yes. Hashtag.
We are hashtag lockdown.